Hello everybody, Killatia here. And what we have here are two of Nintendo's fine plug-and-play TV systems, the SNES Mini, or the NES Classic Edition, and the Super Nintendo Classic Edition, or the SNES Mini. Now, these two are highly praised, has some great games. There are a few games on these systems I don't really enjoy myself, but there's still a good selection here. One of the big problems or complaint people have are the controller links for these systems are kind of short. Now, there is some solutions to this problem. For example, keyboard extension, which I reviewed many years ago, which I'll be honest has way more views than it deserves to have. But there are wireless options for this as well. And one of them is the Miniboss Mini from Nyko for the NES Mini. And then the Super Miniboss controller for the SNES Mini, also by Nyko. Now, we'll get back to this in a sec here, but let's talk about this controller first here. As you can see, it resembles very closely to the original NES controller here. As a matter of fact, here's the controller that comes with it. Pretty close proximity here, but still has that 80s look to it. Like the B&A button is more slanted, and we got a button for home and reset. You don't get that with the original controller here. And of course, it is wireless, so you use, let me find it here, this receiver, you hook it up to your NES Mini, and then boom. I don't remember how long the battery life is on this, but I've been playing with this controller for, hours on end beforehand, and, I never had a need to have a recharge during gameplay. And the controllers are pretty responsive too, and the D-pad is not too bad, honestly. Like, the only real complaint I have with this controller is that there's no real way to really turn it on or off here. Obviously, it will auto turn off if it's not being used long enough, and of course you can just turn it on with this button here. So it's not a big complaint, but it's just a minor complaint. So how does this controller perform? Well, let's switch over to some gameplay using this Miniboss controller. So here we go. The Nintendo Entertainment System Mini is hooked up to the TV. We got the Nyko Miniboss controller here hooked up. And look how smooth we are going through the menus with this controller. Remember this when we showcase the Super Miniboss controller here. Okay, so let's actually go into a game here real quick here. How about some, good old classic Super Mario Brothers, You can never go along with classic like this. There we go. And I have the audio off for obvious copyright reason, but you should, still get how this controller works here. That was like, honestly, I'm not noticing any input lag in this. I mean, if there is any, it seems to be very minimal at best. I mean, I'm sure you probably notice it more if you're playing like a game like Punch-Out, where timing is absolutely anything. There we go. Let's jump up here. And there we go. We got through Super Mario World with this controller. No problem whatsoever. Now, like I said, remember how good the performance of the Miniboss controller is? When we take a look at the Super Miniboss controller for the SNES Mini. So yeah, this is a pretty solid option for the NES Mini here. Like, really no lag, or at least no noticeable lag on my end with this controller here. But the same can't be said about the SNES Miniboss controller here. Now, it does resemble the original Super Nintendo controller, but it does look like more generic. I think that's the term I want to use here, more generic. The D-pad on here is not really that good. Not as good as the Miniboss on the NES side, because you can actually press down on the D-pad here and pretty much have context with all the directions here, which is not really all that good. But there is an option to really turn it on or off here at the top here. And of course you have a charging station down here. And before I forget, there is a little charging port right here for micro USB on the top of the Miniboss controller here. So anyways, back to the SNES Miniboss controller here. I gotta say, I don't know if I got a busted controller here, but I can never really seem to get the batteries on this one to be fully charged. And it kind of affects gameplay, because you can't really have like any good fluid controls over your game. Heck, even going through the menus on the SNES Mini is kind of a pain. If you don't believe me, let's cut to some footage of me trying to use this controller. Okay, so we have the Super Nintendo Mini up. We got all of our controller hooked up to it. So let's try switching a game with the Super Miniboss controller here. And yeah, there is a tremendous amount of lag here. Like, I don't know what's going on. As I may or may not have mentioned before, I've been leaving this to charge like all night long for like the past few days, and it's still not doing any, like, I don't know what's going on here. And it's like, it would not be a pain to even get into a game. I have like legitimately no hope of, hey, come on. Honestly, I don't think I'll be able to play F-Zero with this control, but that just showcases how terrible the latency is. Like, I'm legitimately pressing A here. Or maybe I'm putting it accelerate with B. Okay, what's with B? But I'm legitimately trying to turn with this controller here. It's like, and it's not working at all. And I don't know what's going on here, but you know, I've unplugged the receiver with this on and off. I left it charging overnight for the past few nights, thinking it may not have been fully charged, and for whatever reason, it still doesn't want to work correctly. So yeah, to say that the Super Miniboss was a bit of a disappointment, it's kind of an understatement at this point. Like I said, it could be a junk unit, but I spent like the past few days trying to get this controller to work, and it just doesn't want to work right. I would say completely skip the Super Miniboss. However, for the original Miniboss for your NES Mini, this is a great option. Like, virtually no lag, good battery life, a good range with wireless. Definitely worth your money to pick this up. At least if you can find it for under 20. And Race to the Killatia signing off. Hope to see you next time.